Perfect. It's good timing in this classes. The sunset, the sunrise. Oh, let's get seated for another week, almost the end of September. Can't believe we're going into October already. Enjoying all these colorful trees and leaves. Let's just try to embrace that. Standing up nice and tall. See where your shoulders are at today. Seeing if anything's weighing on those shoulders. See if you can bring it into alignment, bringing the head back over the shoulders, using a little bit more of the strength in the core. And breathe. One more breath here, dropping those shoulders. Relax the eyes, relax the jaw. Beautiful. I'm going to bring my left hand all the way up, fingers spread apart, all the way up and slightly over. See if you can turn your head to look at those fingertips, keeping both sit bones on the ground. Feeling that beautiful stretch, feeling that knee wanting to come up and come back to center. Release that left hand down on the lap, bringing the right hand all the way up. And slightly over, looking up towards those fingertips. Bring it back to center and all the way down. Beautiful. 2 more times. Bring it all the way up, the left hand. Bring it down. Right hand up. And over. And all the way down. Last time on both sides. And down. All the way over. And down. Beautiful. Let's bring the left hand to the outside of that right thigh, right hand behind for a nice little twist. Pulling up through the crown of the head. Back to center. Over to the other side. Bring it back to center. Beautiful. Bring both hands all the way up, fingers spread apart. Beautiful warrior fingers. Bringing the belly and come all the way forward, folding, touching down those fingers in front. Head pointed forward, trying to keep those sit bones down. For one more breath. And coming all the way back up to seated position. Let's bring our legs back into child's pose, toes touching, knees out, and bring the hands into a tabletop position. Pushing up through the shoulders. Bring in the belly and come all the way back, bringing your hips all the way back to a child's pose, but not sinking down the forehead. And then we're going to roll the spine forward, back into tabletop. Come into a cat-like position as you bring in the belly, little hips coming in, and bring the hips all the way back. For 2 more times, come up and back. Come forward, keeping the legs as they are. We're going to draw that right hand up over to the right side for a little bit of a twist. Bring it back down. Left hand rises, looking towards that, those fingers off to the side. Bring it back down. Right side. Bring it back down. Keeping those abdominals intact. Left side. and bring it back down, supporting the back. Beautiful. Bring those fingers together. Bring the knees back underneath like tabletop. Toes come untouching. Beautiful. We're going to start working with our balance today for standing postures. First, from this point, stretching out all of the hips. And we're going to bring some balance to it. Bring the left hand up, right foot back, and hold. Beautiful. Bring the left hand out to the side, to the left side, right foot out to the side and hold. Bring it back to center, out to the side, and back in. One more time. Bring it out and bring it in. Place that left hand down. Right foot crosses behind the left foot, nicely stretched out. And you can look towards those feet, towards the left side. Beautiful. Picking it up, bringing it back to center, back into tabletop. Other side, right hand lifts, left leg back and hold. Bring it out to the sides. Bring it back in. Bring it out. Bring it back in. One more time, out. Bring it back in. And bring that foot all the way crossed over, pushing down those toes. You can bring down the hand if you like, or keep it up and look towards those toes, towards the right side. And breathe. One more breath. Bring everything back to tabletop and back into a child's pose, or just bringing the hips towards the heels. You can tuck in the toes if you want a little extra toe stretch for all those balancing poses we're going to do today. For one more breath. Coming forward and coming into our downward facing dog. You can walk the feet in a little bit closer, keeping the ears beside the arms, bringing those hips back. For one more breath. Let's bring the right foot up and back. Looking through that right armpit, bend that knee, stack the hips, opening up the right side, and then bring that right foot all the way through between the hands, place it down, coming into our crescent lunge. You can bring the hands to the hips, push into that back heel. Breathe. Beautiful. Let's come into a warrior two. Open up the hands, placing that heel down. Warrior two. Coming back, peaceful or exalted. Front arm up. And breathe. Warrior two. Changing the feet into a crescent lunge. Hands can come to the hips. Picking up that back heel, sink into it, find your balance. We're gonna come into a warrior three. You can keep the hands on the hips. We're gonna bring a little movement to the warrior three as we pull up that back leg, coming forward, little T formation. And then we're gonna pulse that back foot, finding your balance first. For 3, 2, 1. Bringing that back knee all the way up to hip height, coming up, standing with that knee at hip height. Flex that foot and breathe. If you can, left hand can come holding that shin. If you fall out, just begin again and open out to the side. Woo! As I say that, begin again. The right hand can come in for half prayer hand and breathe. Bring it into center. Place it down. Find your mountain pose. Palms face forward. Spread the toes. Realign. Bring in the belly. Lift up through the top of the head. Breathe. Beautiful. Inhale those arms all the way up. Optional back bend, looking towards those fingers. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Step it back. High plank or knees. Spread the fingers and hold. Breathe. Beautiful. Drop the knees, untuck the toes. Bring the chest forward for a back bend. If this is too much, bring the forearms down in front. Elbows under shoulders. You can stay lifted on the hands, bringing the chest forward. Engage the glutes, engage the legs. For one more breath. Beautiful. Use the hands, tighten the belly, bring those hips all the way back. All the way back for child's pose. One more breath. Bring it forward. Tabletop. Spread the fingers. Tuck in those toes. We're coming up to our downward facing dog for 2 breaths. Walk in those toes. Breathe. And after those 2 breaths, bring that left foot all the way back. Bend at the knee, stack the hips, looking through the left side. Open up the left side. Breathe. Bring that foot all the way through, stepping that foot down between the hands. Bring the hands to the hips, crescent lunge. Sink into it. Look at something not moving. And breathe. One more breath here. Feel the power of this pose. Opening up the hips, strength, pulling through the belly, and then open up the arms, place the foot down, warrior 2. Exalted or peaceful, front arm comes up. Warrior 2. Beautiful. Coming back into the crescent lunge stance. Hands can come on those hips. Prepare, look at something not moving. We're gonna come into a warrior 3, lifting that back leg. And pulse when you're ready. Little pulses. You can always bring that foot down and just pulse from the ground up slightly. For 3, 2, 1. Bring that right knee all the way forward, up to hip height, flex the foot, shoulders back and down. Beautiful. With that right hand, you can grab onto that shin, open up the knee to the side. Ooh. The bee caught me off guard. Open up. Left hand can come into half prayer hand. For 3, 2, 1. Bring that knee forward. Place it down. Find your mountain pose. Spread out the toes. Give it a wiggle if there was any stiffness, any cramping the toes, and then rock it back and forth when you're ready. Hands can come forward and back. You can come all the way up to the front of the feet, all the way back to the heels. Beautiful. We're going to come right into a chair, bringing those hands forward, bringing the weight into the heels, spread the toes, tuck in the belly, shoulders back. Optional to come up to the ball of the feet and sink it a little bit lower, lifting those heels, pushing all the way up. Hands come all the way up, standing up nice and tall. Beautiful. Bring the hands together, pointer fingers up, arms beside the ears. Beautiful. Tuck in the rib cage, tuck in the belly. Bring it all the way over to the right side. Hips coming towards the left. Beautiful. Bring it all the way to center, all the way to the left side. All the way to center, all the way to the right side. One more time to the left side, center and left. Bring it all the way up. Hands can drop down beside you. We're gonna cross the left foot behind the right. You can bend your knees as much as you need to. And we're gonna forward fold. Bring the arms up all the way forward. Feeling that stretch on the outside of the hips. Down the lower back. And breathe. One more breath. Inhale up. Beautiful. Drop the hands down by your side. Bring it back to the mountain pose. And then we're going to bring the right foot behind the left. Bending your knees as much as comfortable. Let a little movement in there. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. One more breath. And inhale up. Drop the hands down by your side. Untuck those legs. Bring them back to your mountain pose. Breathe. Beautiful. We're going to go through a flow. Inhale, arms up. Optional back bend. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step it back, high plank or to knees. Hold that plank. Feel everything active, pushing through the shoulders. Belly active, glutes active. Lower down, chaturanga or to knees. Pushing forward, upward facing dog or cobra. To downward facing dog. Bring in those feet. Push it back. Breathe. Beautiful. We're going to step the right foot through the hands. Back to our crescent lunge. Hands can come to hips. This time we have an option here. We're going to bring that left foot forward into a tree stand or tree pose, or bring that foot to rest on the thigh and then come into a seated position. Crossing over that foot, resting on the thigh. So find your balance, tuck in through the belly, shoulders back, come all the way up to whatever pose you decided and sink into it. Again, you can have the left hand in prayer if you're crossing over, right hand holding onto that foot, and breathe. For one more breath. And here comes the test. We'll see if we can bring that left foot all the way back into our crescent lunge without touching the ground. Bring it all the way back. Beautiful. Hands on the hips. For one more breath. Beautiful. Come into downward facing dog. Bring the hands forward. Right foot back. Downward facing dog for 2 breaths. Nice and long, full exhale. Beautiful. This time, left foot forward between the hands. Find your balance, crescent lunge. Push back into the heels. Shoulders down. Breathe. When you find your balance or help with a little bit of the wall, come into your tree pose or bring that right foot on the thigh. Holding on with the left hand, that foot sinking down, right hand comes up to the chest, and breathe. Find your balance, find your stillness, and bring that right foot all the way back without touching down. Crescent lunge, hands on the hip. Adjust if that front knee is over the foot. Breathe. Beautiful. Bring it to downward facing dog. Hands come forward, foot comes back. Feel the difference from the first downward facing dog to this one. Feel those hips open, hips sinking down or heels sinking down. One more breath. And then let's come into our half pigeon of choice. Right foot coming forward, knee coming behind the wrist. Making sure that back foot is nice and straight, squaring the hips. You want to bring a little motion to it. You can bring it up through center. Bring it up through center as though you're going to get out of the pose almost and come back down. Just maybe 3 times. Sinking a little bit lower each time maybe. And then come all the way down to your preference in half pigeon. Settle your breath. Scan the body. Two more breaths here, nice and long. And coming up to your hands, we're going to bring that back foot forward. So come seated on your right side, bend the back knee. Bring it forward, out to the side, right foot coming in. Yep, nice and tall. Beautiful. We're going to turn to face that long left leg, flexing that foot, and come forward, folding, holding on wherever's comfortable. Just don't pull at the knee. Be completely over that, feeling that nice stretch down the right side, keeping that sit bone down. You can even bring your right hand to hold on to the thigh, pushing that thigh down if that's okay. For one more breath. And come all the way up. Center your body, torso. Bring that left hand to the outside of the right thigh. Right hand behind, gentle twist towards the water in my case. Breathe. Bring it back to center. bend that left leg, bring it back behind you, meeting in that half pigeon pose. Activate that back leg, and let's meet in our downward facing dog. Feeling all that openness in the back of the legs. One more breath here. And bringing that left knee forward for half pigeon on the left side. Make sure you square the hips. You're not dipping on one side. Leg is nice and long behind you. Beautiful. You can bring a little motion again. Pulling up through center. Dipping down a little bit more each time. And then find your half pigeon coming down to forearms or all the way down. Scanning the body. Where's your tension from the day? For 2 more breaths, nice and long. Exhale all that tension out. Coming up to the hands. Seated on the left side. Bending that back knee, bringing it all the way forward, that right leg. Placing it out to the side. Left foot coming in. Find your sit bones. Be up nice and tall. Shoulders over the ears. Shoulders over the hips. Beautiful. Turn to face that nice long right leg. And come as forward as that feels good. Holding on even if it's up top, right at the thigh. Forward folding from the hips. Leave a little flexibility in the knee. Even if you need to place something under there to remind you. You can place that left hand on the thigh if you like, of the bent leg. For one more breath. Coming up nice and tall. Find your center, bring that torso, those shoulders, everything to place back to center. Right hand comes to the outside of that left thigh. Left hand comes behind. Turning, facing nice and tall. Inhale, up through center. Exhale, twist. For one more breath. Inhale up. Exhale, twist. Coming back to center. Let's pull in that right leg coming into butterfly. You can place the elbows on the inside of those thighs, helping those thighs to relax. Breathe. You can forward fold if you like, or stay up nice and tall. For 3 more breaths. Beautiful. Come up nice and tall. Bring those feet to the earth. Bring those knees in. Beautiful. Be up nice and tall in those sit bones. Warrior fingers out to the sides. Hinge back slightly, activating that belly. Bring up the feet, coming into our beautiful boat. And hold. Find that stillness. Find that balance. Not caving through the belly or the shoulders. Cross at the ankles, coming forward in a seated position, coming all the way forward, stretching forward, hands come to the floor. Come right back up and right back into that boat. Crossing at the ankles, come all the way forward. One last time, come into your boat. Find that stillness. Relax the toes. Beautiful. Lower down. Open up the boat. Lower all the way down. Beautiful. Bring both feet to the earth. Heels nice and close. Tilt that pelvis. Beautiful. Bring that right foot crossing over the left thigh. Just as we did standing. Just as simple. Flex that foot. Flexing the foot helps that lower back from coming up so much that the arch is uncomfortable. Make sure you're not swaying those hips. We tend to want to open up that thigh, so we sway the hips up open to one side. Let's keep them right underneath us, align with our shoulders. And when you're ready, let's bring that thigh close to the body, holding on underneath the left thigh, flexing both feet. For one more breath, bring it down, uncrossing, and long stretch. Stretch out the legs, stretch out the arms above the head. Focusing on that pond of the belly, release. And then bring the feet back to the earth. Pelvis tilts. Shoulders are back and nice and relaxed. This time the left crosses on top of the right thigh. Remembering those hips, keeping the glutes a little bit active helps too. Flex the feet. And when you're ready, bringing in that thigh to the chest, holding on underneath, flexing both feet. For one more breath. Bring that foot down. Stretch it out nice and long. Both feet come down, hands overhead. Long breath. Beautiful. Bring both feet to the earth again. Flex that hips. See how close you can get those heels. Keeping the hips down though. You can bring the hands out to the sides, palms facing up. We're just going to do a little supine twist. You can bring the knees over to one side if you don't want such a dramatic twist. Always bringing that top leg a little bit back, keeping the hips more open. Or knees over top of each other, supine twist. For one more breath. And bringing those knees back to center. Make sure the hips and the shoulders are back to center. Walk in those heels again, spread the toes. When you're ready, supine twist on the other side. Two more long breaths. Bring it back to center. Bring the hands, palms facing down underneath the hips. Swing side to side until everything's back to center though. When you're ready, hands, palms facing down underneath the hips. That's okay for your shoulders. Make a little more space. Bring them out a little bit more. Bring those knees into the chest and then bring the feet up to the earth, a little waterfall. If you need a little more oomph, your legs are starting to shake. Bring your hands into fists, lifting up those hips for circulation. Relax the legs, relax the feet. For 3 more breaths, make them nice and long, or make it 5. Drop the knees into the chest when you've had enough. And then bring the legs into butterfly, nice reclined, relaxed butterfly. Release the hands. One hand can be on the heart, one hand can be on the belly, or if you like them to be on your thighs, helping those hips, or on the hips, reminding the back to stay settled. Pick your position. Maybe it's a little connection time with the breath and the heart. All of these balancing postures meant to help us find our stillness, even in crazy times, even at unsettling times. Give yourself 5 more deep breaths here. And when you're ready, bring the legs together, feet to the earth, hands down beside you, seeing what last little posture you need before you can relax into Shavasana. Or maybe it's just bringing the legs side to side, washing out the hips, washing out the shoulders. Or maybe it's some banana Sana. Or maybe you're just ready, relaxing the legs, feet flopped open, finding the ultimate stillness here, letting the body sink into the earth. And breathe. Once you've done any other postures you may need, and you're sinking into your Shavasana, do your 3 deep breaths all the way to the belly, inhaling fully that beautiful Buddha belly breath. Exhaling fully until the body asks you for the next inhale. Remembering to allow ourselves to create our own reality sometimes. Allowing yourself to be a little more peaceful, even though things may not seem peaceful. Allowing yourself joy, and there doesn't seem to be much of it. Allowing yourself. Beautiful. We're going to activate the belly just a little bit more. Keep that fire for the rest of the week. So activate the legs, bring the feet pointed up when you're ready. Bring those knees into the chest, activating the abdominals. Bring the legs or the hands forward in warrior fingers, picking up that chin, bring it into the chest. Everything's a nice tight ball. And then bring it over to one side, holding on one side of the hip. Bring it back to center nice and slowly, controlled, and over to the other side. Once again, finding our balance in a different way. Bring it back to center, over to the other side. Beautiful. Bring it back to center. Last time over to the other side. Beautiful. And the last side, coming all the way over to fetal position. Not quite done, but come into the fetal position. Hand under head. Feel the release of that shoulder. Shoulders stacked on top of each other. Feel the relaxing of the hips. Extending that top right leg. Bring it all the way straight in front of you. Touch down that toe in front of you and hold that beautiful stretch. Bring the foot up, that leg up nice and straight and hold. Flex the foot. Bend the knee and bring it back to fetal position. Beautiful. We're going to bring the left foot, the one underneath, back behind you, that knee. So the knee is right behind the hip, right underneath the hip, bringing the right knee in front. If you'd like to catch the cat's tail holding onto that back leg, you can, that back foot, only if it's comfortable, or just hold. Beautiful. Bring those knees back into alignment in front of you in the fetal position. And just breathe. We're going to do that again, but obviously we have to turn to the other side. So picking up, find your fetal position on the other side. Right leg is underneath. Right arm is holding up the head. Beautiful. Top foot comes forward when you're ready, stretching it out, touching down those toes. We're really using those outside hip muscles here for the purposes of all those balancing poses that we attempted today. And bring up that foot when you're ready. Flex the foot and hold. Bend the knee, bring it back. Beautiful. Back foot, underneath foot, sorry, the right one. Bring it back so that knee is right under alignment of the hip. You're opening up all that front body. You can tuck in the toes. You can hold on with that top left arm for a little catching the cat's tail. The top knee comes forward. and release back into fetal position. Both knees stacked on top of each other. Breathe. Just let those sensations sink in. And then finding your own unique way to come up to seated position. Maybe attempting it without hands. Finding that feet right there on the sit bones. Finding those sit bones again. Hands on to the lap. Standing up nice and tall. Remembering how you felt when you started this practice. Were your shoulders a little slumped over? Is there a little bit of tiredness in the belly? Were you a little bit forward or a little bit back? Breathe in, be up nice and tall. Do the hips, do the legs. Does anything feel a little more open? Let the mind be clear today. Allow your joys in the little moments. Inhale up those arms. Take it all in. Bring it all through center, pausing at the mind, connecting it down to the heart. Bring it into that beautiful intuition. Namaste.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.